Alright guys, this is the Angryprepper. So today's video, we're going to talk really quick on will we see more civil unrest? Clearly, this whole Tyree Nicholson thing was pretty bad. And I saw some videos, and initially I didn't think anything of it. I looked at the video, I watched him get his ass handed to him, and I was like, alright, guy got beat up. But I found out that he passed away, or he died from it. Now, whether he was in the right or in the wrong, the video looked bad, as did the George Floyd video. But are we going to see more civil unrest because of this Tyree Nicholson thing? So now, a lot of you remember I posted this, and this was I guess a warning to PD that there was going to be people at NYPD facilities carrying on and rioting. Okay, that didn't happen. And this is what I forgot about something very important why it didn't happen. It was cold. And I think it was raining that night, or drizzling or something like that. Rioters hate rain. Like, they're made out of paper mache. These people get wet and they fucking whittle away to nothing. So, that being said, when the weather gets better or it gets warmer, will we see rioting in this country? Now, I know in other places they're going after it. I know there was a little bit of a problem in Times Square just the other night. Some kid was on a cop car stomping out the glass. He got arrested. I think a couple people got arrested, but nothing huge. But will they beat this fear drum? Not fear drum, but will they beat this drum of racism with this? Now, CNN did so. They classified this as still a racially motivated act, according to CNN, though all of the officers were black. So it seems as if, guys, they want to keep the emotions high, charged, so that people probably at the first sign of warmth, at least here in the East Coast, will react to it. Now, I know other places they were reacting, but none of it was as big as we saw with George Floyd. So again, I ask, will we see any rioting behind this? Will we see anything out of this? There were demonstrations throughout the country, if I'm not mistaken, but they were all peaceful, again, with the exception of what happened down in Times Square. And even then, it was like one or two knuckleheads. It wasn't anything big. The media is going to keep this. First of all, the media, we all know this, guys. They like to keep the fear drum going. They love to get people scared. They love to keep them scared. They love to sit there and keep them divided as well. Again, this Tyree Nicholson thing was bad, and the cops were handled pretty fast. And I think instead of an actual investigation going on, I think they were all, arrested and charged with murder. I mean, inside of like a week or a couple days. So there's something to be said about overreaction to just throwing cops in jail and then fuck it kind of deal. But there's also something to be said that they were handled quickly and there was no actual reasons for anyone to riot or carry on. Now, police reform has been going on throughout the country, and we've seen what that looks like in a lot of states, especially here in New York, where it's been weakened. And here in New York, crime is still up. It's still high. You're hearing less of it, but it's still up there. I mean, I'm watching in front of my eyes shit happen, unfold in front of me. And like the police chase that ended up in front of my building with the car, hitting a cab and then bouncing off the cab and into the back of this van, right? So again, guys, the problem is not going to be just throw cops away. And I know a lot of you guys hate cops on here. I know, and I get it. Why? Because you have a lot of cops that can be assholes. And even on a smaller scale, you got cops that can be assholes. Hell, I almost got into it with a cop the other day because my car got towed. And that's a long story in itself. But my car got towed, and the cop was talking to me like I was a child. And I already told him, I said, listen, I'm not a child. I got fucking more time in this world than you. Cut the shit. And he didn't know what to say. And I said that to him in the precinct. And the other cop stopped and looked. And then he carried on doing what he was doing. So yes, there is that. There's also the asshole cops. But the problem with asshole cops and people, guys, it's a secular thing, right? It keeps going around in circles, right? People keep treating cops like shit. Cops get fed up and catch attitudes with people and treat them like shit. So it keeps going around in circles, sort of like the whole Arab-Israeli thing, or Palestinian-Israeli thing, right? It's going to keep going in a circle until something drastic happens. We have the same thing with cops here in the country. Until something drastic happens, it's going to keep going in circles, right? I mean, you have a lot of cops leaving the job anyway. You have a lot of cops that are fucking discouraged about being cops. But when you have the politicians backing up the people and enforcing their discouragement or discouraging them even more, it becomes a problem. But again, the civil unrest that I think we are not going to see, because again, especially like here in New York, it's just too cold. Right now it's like raining and shit outside. People don't like rain. I mean, listen, if you were a die-hard protester, you'd be out in the rain. But a lot of people like texting each other. I saw a couple flurries. We can't do this. We can't raid stores and break police cars. We got to wait till it's nice and it's a little warmer, and then we can go out and act a fool. But again, I don't think we're going to see much unless we see another police incident like this in the warmer months. If you see another Tyree Nicholson or George Floyd kind of thing happen in the warmer months, you will undoubtedly get people to react because it's warm and they're going to act a fool. And then people are going to use that as the excuse to, or the catalyst rather, to riot. Now, this was handled quickly, so there should be no rioting. The cops were put in jail. They were charged with murder. There should be nothing to riot about. It was handled. Theoretically, it was handled. Or it was handled in a shitty way, sorry. But nonetheless, it was squared away. So there shouldn't be any rioting, and there shouldn't be people sitting there coming up with reasons why to riot. So we shall see. This is all going to take time. I don't foresee anything happening, but it's always good to keep your head on a swivel just in case. You never know. Anyway, guys, other than that, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.